Hi there, my name is Scott Arthur and I'm the councillor for Collington, Oxgangs and Fairmile Head. And right now I'm in Oxgangs Farm, which is almost right at the centre of my ward. You can see the materials behind me for the insulation project which is ongoing in the area. So a popular topic for people who contact me right since I was elected in 2017 is the state of our roads and footpaths. And nobody, I think, really thinks that they're acceptable in the city. When Labour took over the administration in the city in 2022, we found that roads and footpaths were underfunded by about £8 million per year. Last year we increased the budget by £11 million on road and footpath maintenance, and I think as a result between 500,000 and 600,000 square metres of roads and footpaths are resurfaced. And I think the data the council have shows that certainly the decline has been halted. Hard to believe, I know, and I certainly still don't believe that based on what I see around me, but certainly that's what the data is starting to show, so good news. And the budget was set in February, so last year an extra 11 million in the budget in February, we put an extra 1.5 million on top of that. So now the road and footpath maintenance budget has essentially been doubled since Labour came into power in the city, and we hope to keep it at that level for the next 2 years. Obviously that depends on the funding settlement we get from the Scottish Government, which is out of our control, although I do hope and wish we had a Labour government in Holyrood sooner rather than later, because I think the country needs change. I think is pretty clear. So what does that extra funding for this year mean? Well, two quick things to talk about is that we've set aside £500,000 of that to reinforce the carriageways at bus stops. Very welcome, I'm sure people will agree that's a good investment. And we've also doubled our investment in dropping curbs in the city to help make the city a more equal city. So we'll spend about £160,000 on that. And now the other really important change we've made this year is that when it comes to prioritising where the money's spent, which is always difficult because there's just so much need in the city to invest in roads and footpaths, is we've agreed to invest more money in areas of deprivation. And that's because people in more deprived areas are less likely to own a car, are more likely to be walking day to day, particularly for those connections to the bus, etc. So that's the key change we've made this year. And to be honest, this is just about tipping things in the right direction. It's not about, doesn't mean all the money is going to be spent in areas of deprivation. It just means that where we've got two roads that are equal in terms of condition, that are vying for funding, the one in the area of deprivation might win over. So that's citywide context. So what does it mean for my ward? So I've got a wee list here of where money is going to be invested in my ward, and we'll just move on slightly. So where it's going to be invested in my ward is Banally Road in Collington, Dreghorn Loan in Collington. Now that was meant to get done last year, but what happened was when engineers went along to actually do the work, they found the road was actually worse than expected, and so it's needed extra money, so it's been delayed until this year. King Malcolm Close, Redford Bank, Oxgangs Farm Avenue, Buxton Loan East, Caystane Crescent and Terrace, and Woodhall Road. Now Woodhall Road of course was done recently, but when they talk about Woodhall Road this time, I think what they're meaning is the section west of the bypass, which, if memory serves me right, is actually a relatively new stretch of road because it was redone when the stables were built. Maybe 5 or 6 years ago that road was redone, but just now the road engineers say it needs a preventative treatment to stop it from declining sharply. Is there anything else there that's worth talking about? So that's all the road treatments in the city. Now when it comes to footways, where the investment will be is Woodhall Bank, Oxgangs Farm Drive, which is where I am just now, and you can just see in front of me the footpaths there, and you can see a patch has been done in preparation for putting the new surface on the road there. So Oxfam Drive, Oxgangs Row, Winton Terrace. I've had a lot of complaints about that since it was elected in 2017, so it's really glad to see it's made it to the top of the list there. West Caystane Road and Caystane Terrace South. So obviously that's all that work I think is very welcome, but it's obviously a very small part of what's needed in my ward. But like I said, we have made that commitment to keep funding at this level for the next 2 years. So hopefully other streets, other roads, other footways in my ward will see the benefit of that in the coming couple of years as we work through that programme of work to help get Edinburgh back on track. Okay, so hopefully it's some good news there for people. If you've got any questions, just leave them in the comments. Thank you. Bye for now.